Hello everyone, I'm called Patience Motoni and I'm a hospitality consultant, trainer, very passionate about building hotel brands and restaurants and resorts and lodges, but very intentional about growth as an individual. So thank you so much for coming back to watch my YouTube and for visiting my YouTube channel again. Thank you so much for coming. So today's topic is going to be about the signs that you might be having a poor manager, a poor supervisor, or you are having an incompetent manager. Some of the signs are empty seats in your restaurant, empty rooms in your hotel are an evidence that you are having a problem of management or a problem of a manager. Why? Because those could be filled up. There are exceptions to the rule that there are low season months and there are months when people are maybe taking back children to school. But even in those months, as we live here in Kampala, we know there are brands that are always full from breakfast time to dinner time. There are very many brands that also are empty from morning to night time. So if your brand is empty and you struggle with having customers, your chairs are always looking at you. You clean them in the morning and you hardly get more than 50 customers visiting you, and yet you have a 200-seater restaurant. Guess what? It's a sign of a poor manager. Number 2, signs that you might have a wrong leader is that your employees have poor attitude. Your employees are rude to customers. Your employees have a bad character. Your employees do not know the menu. How can you have an employee who does not know the product that you're selling? Because the waiters and waitresses, we look at them as waiters and waitresses, but in reality, they are salespersons. They are salespeople. They are the ones representing your brand. So if your menu has 100 products, but you only sell, maybe it has 20 products, but you only sell 3, it means that your employees know 20% of your menu. It means that your manager has not passed down the knowledge to the employees. Or maybe even your manager does not know the menu, has no idea what the products are. So you could equip your manager with training and the entire team, but you could also check and see, is he really the right general manager for the hotel? Because the hotel could be getting clients, but guess what? There are leakages in the hotel, and your employees at night, while you're sleeping, they are selling rooms behind, and the manager is aware, but the manager is doing nothing about it. So one sign, like we said, empty rooms, empty seats in your hotel, in your restaurant, are an example, are an indicator that you might need to change your manager or you might need to train your manager. Number 2, the second we talked about is the fact that your employees are having a poor attitude. They're having a bad attitude towards their customers. Customers, there are some brands you visit and it's like you're helping the employees. It is quite sad that someone comes to spend their 50,000 and they spend it in pain. They come and spend their 100,000 and they spend it in pain. They're always looking for the waiters. They're always looking for the managers. They're always looking to complain. Now these days, there are even thieves in the industry. An employee comes and steals your client. Do you think your client will return? No. Do you know who has allowed that? Your leaders. So you might need to change your leaders again or train your leaders. Number 3, an indicator that there might be a problem with management or a problem with your manager is the increased staff turnover. Employees come, but they leave. Employees come. For you, it's like it's a conveyor belt. Your employees come, they don't spend a long time, and they leave. So it could be that you are having the wrong leader on board. It can also be that you're not understanding what is happening to your business, and you need to change that. Number 4, the little sales, the little revenue that you're making as a brand. It could be that you are repelling the customers and not attracting them. There are small things. Someone orders a tea of 10,000. 12,000, 15,000. Why not give them peanuts? They're free of charge, but they go a long way. Remember we said in our previous videos that a customer has a heart, an employee has a heart, a supplier has a heart. It means you must appeal to the heart. How your employee feels about the hotel she or he is working for will determine whether she becomes a loyal employee and creates a loyal customers, or creates a disloyal customer and the employee is always leaving. They're always in and out. So check and see how often you lose your employees. It is an indicator that you might need to change something in your management, or you might need a lot of training, a lot of systems in place. Number 4, poor customer service. Poor customer service has very many details, but poor customer service is evident. The customer comes and is disappointed in the level of service you have given them, and is disappointed on the speed at which your employees are serving him, and is disappointed at the fact that your employees do not know the menu, they don't know the drinks, they're just saying, choose what you want. Someone has already come to a salesperson of your restaurant, that is your waiter, your waitress, or they come and the hostess who is taking them, who booked them in, promised them a particular place, and on the day of their birthday, gets a different area. Maybe they booked at the left corner, they get a middle area, and yet they wanted a private space. It goes back to why you might be losing the income, losing the sales. Those are all leakages. So you might need to tighten the taps every little bit. Check through what is your customer's experience. Have a customer feedback return system. You must have feedback from every customer who sits in your restaurant, and not just to have it and you ignore it, but to have the feedback and you work on it. The industry has money because clients and customers like to eat out and they like great experiences. So if you start creating great experiences for your clients, trust me, there is going to be a change in the number of clients who come in the day. If you've been attracting 20, they will become 100. For example, when I go to Javas, I expect the same thing every time I visit Javas. And trust me, Cafe Javas has never disappointed me, that I always get the same level of service, the speed at which the meal comes, the presentation is always the same. And even when there is maybe a mistake in the presentation, they are willing to give you another plate of food. Check your brand. Are you willing to lose a plate of food to create customer loyalty? If not, make sure that your system is working very well so that you can create your loyal customers. Remember, one unhappy customer kills 60 clients. One happy customer brings for you as well 60 clients. So the unhappy customer will even tell more people from my experience. But guess what? A memory created in your client's heart will buy that client forever. Will buy that client and they'll come to your brand all the time because of the consistency, because of the great service, because of the great employees and the great managers. So check and see where the problem is coming from. Another indicator that you might need to change your manager, or that you might need to train your manager, is the inconsistency. Today the meal is nice, tomorrow it's tasteless. Today the chicken is tasty, tomorrow the chicken is very not ready. Today the fish is well done, tomorrow the fish is half done. Today the chips are sliced in a particular way, bigger. Tomorrow the chips are now sliced in a different way and little. So the inconsistency, that all goes back to a system. So do you really have a system? Do you have an SOP for every process? SOP is, do you have a standard operating procedure for every process that you have? You should have it. Do you know when your employees clock in what they do first? Do you know what they do last? Do you know what an employee does when they get bad feedback? Bad feedback, where do I go first? Do I go to the kitchen? Do I go to the supervisor? And when I go to the supervisor, what do I tell the customer when they have had a bad experience? Because guess what? You created the business for the customer. You created the business for your customer. Not for yourself, not for your friends. Last time I had a conversation with a friend of mine who told me that she went and visited a particular brand, and when she requested for some music, they played it, and then like one of the owners came and changed it and went to the DJ's box and they changed it, and the customer got frustrated and was like, did you create the business for us or you created it for yourself? Think about it, because at the end of the day, first impression lasts, and make sure that your brand is consistent. Your hotel is consistent. Whenever your clients come to experience your restaurant, your hotel, your resort, your lodge, they should have the same thing. Breakfast, the same breakfast. If it's changing, it should change for the better. Not today having fried egg, well done, and the next time they ask for well done, you give them an omelette because of lack of knowledge of your employees. There are so many small details, but they go a long way. I saw some comments where a client was talking about a dirty room. For sure, if I enter a dirty room, you've also traveled if you are a director or you are an employee of the establishment. If you entered a dirty room, would you return? You wouldn't. So it means that check and endeavor that your employees are on top of their game, especially your leadership. I always remember that everything rises and falls on leadership, whatever you mismanage. So is your manager mismanaging or managing well? If they're mismanaging, they could be genuinely great people, but they do not know what to do. Train them. How often do you train in your organization, in your hotel, in your restaurant? Thank you so much for coming to my YouTube video, and I hope you like and subscribe to my channel. Bye-bye.